Hey, this is Yulong. It's been officially a year since my Achilles tendon rupture. For those who don't know, I ruptured my Achilles tendon last January, and I've been making a bunch of videos to track my progress of recovery. If you're interested in my previous updates, please check out my channel. In this video, like I said, I'm gonna talk about the 1 year anniversary since my injury. Now, I've originally prepared some comments about like 1 year look back. I'm gonna say like, I'm generally happy with the progress. There's things I wish I could do. I'm gonna keep improving the new year, things like that. And life is so different, right? Just like a lot of people would say that in my situation. But yesterday, I didn't know why I didn't do this sooner. But yesterday, I actually took out my soccer ball and just play it in my backyard. I'm just practicing some basic drills, dribbling, cutting, nothing fancy. I'm not playing a game. Just by myself. But I cannot tell you, man, how good it feels to be able to play it again, even if you just practice. I think last time I ruptured my Achilles tendon while I was playing soccer, football outside of the United States. I'm a big soccer fan. I play soccer a lot. Although like right before Achilles tendon injury, I haven't played for quite a while, and then I played that once. That's when I ruptured. But anyway, so yesterday was the first time since my injury that I get to play soccer, and I feel so good. It's just immediately when I dribble the ball, I don't know. I've been playing for a long time, so like I like the sports. It just gives me such a strong feeling. I feel like I am almost sentimental at that time that I have a strong thought about I want to play soccer again. This also clarifies my mind a little bit. Previously, I think I kind of focus on single leg calf raise, and I know I mentioned that I fall behind the schedule. I feel like it's still behind, but calf raise. What's the point of doing that? Like even if I was able to do that, I don't enjoy doing calf raise too much. Every PT asks me what kind of sports do I want to go back to after the recovery, or what's the goal, right? What's the goal of the PT? My answer has always been going back to surf. I'm not sure if I mentioned before. So surfing is something I just started right before the injury actually. I mean, I really like surfing, so that is something that I would like to go back to. And however, I never put much thought about going back to soccer just because, I ruptured my tendon while playing soccer, so I think I didn't think about that too much before I really have the full strength and everything. So I guess I'm kind of person that I will think about playing soccer again when I can do, let's say, multiple single leg calf raise on my injured leg. At that point, then I will think about, oh, okay, I want to play soccer again. But yeah, so like now I sort of have a very clear goal. I do want to go back to soccer, even if just dribbling. Dribbling makes feels so good. I would just practice and just put more load on my tendon. And meanwhile, still keep doing the calf raise and everything. Like I feel so motivated now. I think this is a good thing. I feel very motivated now that I want to keep my rehab and keep practicing, keep exercising, and that's my thought about my 1 year. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Anyway, we today's still gonna talk about a lot of updates and exercises. I added new stuff to my exercises, but before that, just for the 1 year mark, I'm gonna show you a couple photos when I just got injured. So this is taken, I think, a day after my injury. I was in urgent care and trying to be treated. And this is when I was trying to consult another specialist. This is taken right before the surgery, a day before surgery. I was doing some ultrasound work. I believe this is the last photo of the good calf on my right leg. And this is me right before the surgery. This is the surgery day. This was taken a week after the surgery when I went back for a follow-up. You can see the sutures are still there. On the other hand, my calf, not so much. And this is when I finally took off my cast. I believe that was 4 weeks after the surgery. My right leg calf looks like it doesn't look like anything. It doesn't exist. The calf basically doesn't exist. This is another photo of my sad calf. I took a photo last night to compare with my sad calf. It's still much smaller than my left leg, but it has some volume now, so I'm happy. Okay, next, let's talk about some updates. For the calf raises, I was able to measure it a little bit. My left leg, the good one, is measured at 4 inch, which is about 11 centimeters. While my right leg, my injured leg, is measured at 3 inch, which is about 7.6 centimeters. I remember last time my good leg is about 12 or even more, so I'm not sure. The measurement could be off a little bit, but it looks like my right leg is about 75% of my left leg, the good leg now. There's some progress, not too much. And here is how my calf looks like now. And here is another shot of how my calf muscle looks like. This shows the difference. There's a lot of difference there. And finally, there's the knee to wall test in terms of the range of motion. It's been a bit better. I can do 5 fingers now, you can see, but I think that's also my current limit, the 5 fingers. Next, I want to talk about exercises. First is what I did for the past month. You can see here, my exercise averaged out to 60 minutes a day. I adopted a new schedule for the past month. Instead of trying to exercise every day and combine a couple of things together, what I did now is I have a cycle of 4 days. Within each cycle, in the first day, I'll do some rehab focus on my lower body muscle. The second day, I'll just do regular weightlifting, chest, shoulder, legs, things like that. On the third day, I will do rehab focus on either agility or cardio or endurance, right? Like running, biking, and also plyometrics, which I'm going to talk about in more details later. And then the fourth day, the last day, I'll just rest. Knowing that I have a day to rest, I was able to push myself a little bit harder, particularly the day before the rest, where I am doing the rehab on cardio and agility and endurance. And here you can see a more detailed log of my exercises in past month and how each cycle runs. And here is my list of rehab focus on lower body muscle. Essentially, I have 2 sets of exercises and I alternate between cycles. This is what I do for the first day of my cycle. Last video, I mentioned that I started running last month and I found out my right knee tends to collapse during running, and that's because my right leg muscle is weak in general. So for the rehab here, I added a couple exercises that could be done on single leg so that I can focus on my right leg a little bit more, such as the lunge, pistol squat, and RDL. All of this could be done on one leg so that you can basically, I just do more repetitions on my right leg compared with my left one. This is a list of plyometrics exercises that I do on the third day, as I mentioned. I talked about plyometrics a couple of videos before. Initially, PT introduced me that with the ladder stuff, but I haven't done that since then. I focus more on strength. However, in the past month, I come across a couple of videos. I think those are really helpful information. I'll put the links in my description. What they say is, it varies by the individual, but there are cases where only focus on strength rehab doesn't really improve calf and tendon strength or power much. And those cases usually they show improvement if the patients incorporates plyometrics exercise as well. And the second thing, there's this data chart that's from some research that is mentioned in one of these videos, and I find it particularly helpful. So this research is about quantifying the load we put on our Achilles tendon when we do different activities, such as walk and run and jump and calf raises as well. And they rank all the activities based on the load. Now the load itself, they come up with a calculation. So it's what they call load index. The value itself, the absolute value doesn't make too much sense. It's very useful if you want to compare different activities. Now here is the chart from the research, rank all the activities they tested by the tendon load essentially. And on the left side, those are lightest load. You can see the lightest one is the seated heel raise, calf raise with 2 legs. Whereas on the right side, that's the heaviest load on your tendon. That's the forward hopping with 1 leg. Now, before we go into how this affects me, I think there's a couple interesting things. First of all, it categorizes all these activities by tiers. But I find it most helpful to just compare all these activities with walking and running. You can already see that, for example, squat and lunge and double leg calf raises are generally light load. They are lighter than walking. The second thing is single leg exercises and double leg jumps are heavier than walking. Whereas single leg jumps and jumps in directions are usually heavier than even running, right? So those are sort of 3 levels. Okay, so I think this gives us a very clear guideline in terms like at different stage how you should progress and choose what kind of exercise to do. And of course for me, because I was able to run, so I don't want to dwell on all those light load exercises. So what I want to do is I want to choose the exercises that are close to running, either like slightly lighter than running or heavier than. There's another video also includes some more plyometrics exercises. So basically I just choose some of exercise listed here that is heavier than running, and some of those from the other video, and use that as my plyometrics exercise. I think these can help me push harder, even harder than running, so that I can progress better. Because running, I think it's a constant load, right? And it's more about endurance, less about the power and everything. Of course, you can do sprint, but that's kind of harder to execute. So I think these exercises are actually pretty good for me at a stage where like I can run, but I still feel quite some limits. But to go back to the first point, I think plyometrics does not work for every tendon patient. There are only just some cases where they see improvements in terms of recovery when they incorporate the plyometrics exercises. So I guess I'll see if that really helps me. Okay, and then next I'll show you the clips of me doing those plyometric exercises. So I'll typically start with double leg jumps and hops as a warm-up. Each I'll do like 3 sets of 30 or 35, 40. And you can see different kinds of jumps. Jump with stiff knees and forward and backwards. I also do a jump onto and from a step. Next is the single leg hop. And here I just want to show you that you can see my injured leg, which is the right leg, sometimes still claps if you compare with my left leg. That's just my weak muscle there, so I really need to strengthen the muscle. I do stiff knees on the single leg as well. And then forward and backwards. These are basically the same as the double leg, but with only just one leg. For all of these single leg exercises, I usually do like 10, 20 on my right leg, the injured leg, and while I just do like 5 or even 3 on my left leg, right? Because my focus is on the injured leg. So here is what I do on and front, jump onto a step and front on a step. Because my left leg is weaker, you can see it just has less control and it's less stable compared with my good leg. For single leg, I also do lateral jump, also lateral hop. So the two things are slightly different. There you go. That's everything I want to talk about for the past month and for the 1-year anniversary. And my next goal, like now, like I said, I feel very motivated to go back to soccer. So I'll start adding soccer stuff to my exercise, just like basic drill. I'm not playing the game. I don't think I'm ready for that, but I'll start doing the dribbles, doing passes, shots, and things like that. So yeah, I'm really excited that I can go back to this. I guess it sounds pretty obvious now, but like if you wish to go back to sports, or if you like any kind of sports and you unfortunately injured your tendon, maybe try to play that sports a little bit. Like not actually play it if you're not ready, but just like maybe some drills, right? Some practice. Those are really would make you feel better, and but also kind of give you a goal. Like, oh right, like this is what I'm still looking for. Like I still want to go back, and that give you a good motivation to really invest in the recovery. I think this definitely helps. Because it's been 1 year now. From now on, I'll probably post updates, not exactly every month. Sometimes maybe a month there's a lot to talk about. If not, then I'll post it like 2 months, 3 months. But meanwhile, I'll probably make some videos about some other topics that I mentioned that I want to talk about. I know I want to talk about physical therapy in the United States, and maybe how insurance works. How much does it cost, and comparing the boots that I have, that kind of stuff, right? I'll also separately put some videos of me doing the plyometrics in full session. You will be able to see exactly how I do my rehab. I also include maybe some full sessions of me doing other rehab exercises. I don't know. I personally would be very curious to see how other patients do rehab when I was trying to recover, because that really gives me a practical sense in terms of like how intense, how does others look when they are doing the recovery when with a weaker tendon. So yeah, so I'll definitely post that. And yeah, so that's all for today's video. It's 1 year mark. I guess, you know, we're just gonna keep going, right? And again, hope you find this video helpful, you know, in any ways. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.